Okay, so now let's take a look at Unit 2. Okay, at school. So we are going to begin again with the listening activity. So here we go. Again, as you listen, circle the correct answers and then put a check under the correct name. Okay, so Tanya and Omar are talking.
Unit 2 Test. Section A, Listening.
Hello, I'm Tanya.
Hi, I'm Omar.
You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm new. I just started yesterday. How long have you been here?
Oh, for about a month now.
Wow, your English is good. How have you learned so quickly?
Well, I've had a lot of opportunities to improve my English since I came to the United States. I work, and so, I speak English with my coworkers in the morning at my job. Then I come here to school in the evenings. And I listen to the news in English and read a newspaper every day. Hey, Omar, have you tried reading newspapers in English?
No, I can't concentrate, and there are too many new words. I can't remember them all, and I hate using a dictionary all the time.
Well, here's an idea. Read the newspaper in the morning, and then you can ask me about new words.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to enjoy learning that way.
Okay, now let's listen to it one more time.
Unit 2 Test. Section A, Listening.
Hello, I'm Tanya.
Hi, I'm Omar.
You're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm new. I just started yesterday. How long have you been here?
Oh, for about a month now.
Wow, your English is good. How have you learned so quickly?
Well, I've had a lot of opportunities to improve my English since I came to the United States. I work, and so, I speak English with my coworkers in the morning at my job. Then I come here to school in the evenings. And I listen to the news in English and read a newspaper every day. Hey, Omar, have you tried reading newspapers in English?
No, I can't concentrate, and there are too many new words. I can't remember them all, and I hate using a dictionary all the time.
Well, here's an idea. Read the newspaper in the morning, and then you can ask me about new words.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to enjoy learning that way.
Okay, so let's look at number 1. What are Tanya and Omar talking about? Okay, so I want you to make a complete sentence. Okay, and the answer is B. So we can say Tanya and Omar, or they are talking about learning English. They are talking about learning English. Okay, and where are they? Where are they? Again, make a complete sentence. So we can say they are at school. They are at school. Let me ask one more question. What time of day is it? What time of day is it? And we can say it is evening. It is evening. They take evening classes. If you remember, Tanya said that she goes to work in the morning and she comes to class in the evening. Okay? And then number 3, make a sentence. Okay, so Tanya and Omar are classmates. Okay? It seems they just met. Okay? So if we continue, number 1, who has been at the school for one day? Okay, the answer is Omar. And if we make a complete sentence, we can say Omar has been at the school for one day. Okay, and then number 2, who has been at the school for 1 month? And of course, the answer is Tanya. So Tanya has been at the school for 1 month. Okay, and let me ask another question. Why was Omar surprised about Tanya? What was Omar surprised about? Okay, and we can say that Omar was surprised because Tanya's English was good. Okay, or Tanya has learned English so quickly. Okay, so we could say Omar was surprised or impressed that Tanya has learned English so quickly or so well. Okay, and we're going to find out how she was able to learn English so well. So who practices English with coworkers? Okay, and of course the answer is also Tanya. Okay, and then number 4, who reads the newspaper in English? Okay, and this is also Tanya, and that's why she's improving so quickly. And then number 5, who dislikes using a dictionary? And the answer is Omar, which is probably why he needs to take English classes, because he doesn't practice in any other way. And then number 6, who knows more English vocabulary? Oops. So we can say Tanya knows more English vocabulary. Again, it's probably because she practices more and she reads the newspaper in English. Okay, and then number 7, who is going to start a new strategy for learning English? Okay, and the answer is Omar is going to start a new strategy for learning English. And if you remember, is going to or is going is present continuous tense, but in this case, it's talking about the future. Okay, so Omar is going to, or Omar will, start a new strategy for learning English. And let me ask you, what is that strategy? What is it? Okay, and Tanya suggested this strategy, but you can say Omar is going to read the newspaper in English in the morning, and then he is going to ask Tanya words he doesn't know. I know that's really long, but you can simplify it too. So you can just say Omar is going to ask Tanya vocabulary words. And if you want, you can say Omar will ask Tanya vocabulary words after he reads the newspaper in English. Okay? And remember, we talked about using before and after. Okay? Let's keep going. So now we are going to do our grammar lesson, or grammar activity. So complete the sentences. Write the correct word. Okay? So you can pause the video to choose the correct word and continue when you're finished. Okay, so number 1. How long has Anna known Manya? Okay, so this is present perfect tense. How long has Anna, and because Anna is third person singular, we need to say has. Okay, and then number 2, he has been here since February. Okay, and we need to use been because it's the past participle of be. So again, when we use the present perfect tense, we have to use a form of have plus pp, which is past participle. Okay, number 3. I have taught him, and again you can see have plus pp, taught. So I have taught him for 1 year. Okay, and remember, for talks about duration, and since is a specific moment. So I have taught him for 1 year. 1 year is a duration. Okay, and then let's look at number 4. Alex has had that job for 5 months. Okay, so in this case, had is the past participle of have. So and then this has is the form we use for present perfect tense. So don't get confused when you see has had. So Alex has had that job for 5 months. And again, 5 months is a duration, so we use for. And then number 5, she has worked there, and this one is since last week, because last week is a specific moment, okay, not a duration. Okay, if it said 1 week or 2 weeks, then it would be a duration, but it says last week, so it's a moment, so we say since. Okay, now let's practice making questions. Okay, so make a question using the present perfect tense. Okay, so you can pause the video and continue when you're finished. And of course, you can use your notes if you need to. Okay. Okay, so let's look at number 1. Now, number 1 is already a question. So you don't need to do this one. But if you answer this question, how can we answer it? Okay. All right, so we can start with the subject, which is Anna. Oops, Anna. And let me change the color to blue so it's easier to see. Okay, so Anna has known, and this is the present perfect tense, has known Manya, and then you can use for or since, and then something. So I'm just going to stop here and move on. So number 2, he has been here since February. Okay, so we can ask, how long, just like number 1, how long has he been here? Has he been here? Okay, how long has he been here? And then number 3, how long have you taught him? How long have you taught him? Okay. Number 4, how long has Alex had that job? How long has Alex had that job? And number 5, how long has she worked there? How long has she worked there? Okay. Moving on to our next grammar activity. So complete the sentences, and this time use ever and the present perfect. Okay, so we're going to keep using present perfect tense, but this time we are going to include ever. All right, so same thing. You can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so for this question, we can say, have you ever talked to your neighbors? Have you ever talked to your neighbors? Okay, and you can say, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. All right. And then number 2, since the subject is Jamila, we have to say has. Has Jamila ever forgotten her books? Let me move this a little bit. Okay, so remember, these are yes/no questions. So that's why we start with have or has. Now, in this case, they were information questions, not yes/no questions, which is why we start with how long, how long, how long. Okay, and again, in this case, we just ask have you or has Jamila, has she, has he. Okay, so has Jamila ever forgotten her books? Yes, she has. Number 3, has he ever studied French? Okay. No, he hasn't. Number 4, have you ever been lost? No, I haven't. And finally, there are 2 people, so it's third person singular, plural. So have Laura and Joseph ever done, because you can see the verb is do, so the participle is done. Have Laura and Joseph ever done the wrong homework? Yes, they have. Okay. And then we're going to move on to exercise D, reading. Okay, so for this one, let me zoom out just a little bit. All right. So read the story and then read the sentences. Are they correct? Circle yes or no. So it's just like the Unit 1 test. So you're going to read the story, and if the answers are no, then I want you to fix them, to change them, make them correct. Okay, so you can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at the story. Problems at school. Kayla is a new high school student. She has been in the United States for 2 months and has learned to speak English quickly. She has practiced speaking a lot with her neighbors, but high school is different. Kayla has to read and write in English. Kayla isn't a very active reader, so this is more difficult. Also, she has to study for a lot of classes. And of course, there are so many new words to know. Kayla is discouraged. Since she started high school in September, Kayla has gotten bad grades. She has done the homework every day. She has practiced with her neighbors. She has studied for tests, but her teacher says that Kayla doesn't always understand. She says that Kayla doesn't ask enough questions in class. Her counselor says that Kayla needs to concentrate when she reads and develop strategies for learning new words in English. Kayla hasn't ever had so much trouble in school. Now she doesn't enjoy school as much as she did before. Often she can't wait until school is over. Have you ever felt this way about school? Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. Kayla has been a high school student for 2 years. Okay, and the answer to this is no. Okay, so as you can see, she started high school in September. So we're not sure how long that's been, but we know for sure that she has been here no longer than 2 months. For high school, we don't know. Maybe she started 1 month ago. We don't know what month it is now, but we just know that she started high school in September. So you can say Kayla has been a high school student since September. So you can use a specific time phrase, since September. Okay, number 2, Kayla has lived in the United States for 2 months. And this is true. This is yes. We can see that here. She has been in the United States for 2 months. Okay, number 3. High school has been difficult for Kayla. And the answer is yes. And we can see that in many parts of this paragraph. One of the things is, one of the clues is high school is different and more difficult. Okay. Kayla is discouraged, so all of these are hints. And then number 4, Kayla has had problems learning vocabulary. Okay, and we can also say yes for this one, right? It says here, her counselor says that Kayla needs to concentrate when she reads and develops strategies for learning new words, and Kayla hasn't ever had so much trouble in school. So this is a hint that shows us that indeed, she has had problems learning vocabulary. Okay, and then number 5, Kayla has always had bad grades. Now, this is not true. This is no. Okay, so we can see here, since she started high school in September, Kayla has gotten bad grades. So only since she started school in September. And it seems that before she did pretty well. Or at least, at the very least, we don't know. So this one for sure is not true. Okay. Let's look at exercise E, writing. So it says write a paragraph about 3 strategies to help Kayla learn more words in English. So if you remember from Unit 2, we talked about making strategies to help us improve English. For example, you might say, one strategy is for Kayla to learn more vocabulary words. And then you can include steps like, for example, she could write down a new word on an index card and memorize it. So if you want, you can include steps, specific steps. Okay, so that's the end of Unit 2. So I will see you for Unit 3 in Part 3 of this lesson.